would be what I believe is God's working in my life. I've been a year coming here to Holland and to Zwolle, and from that time on, I can see God's way and God's direction. I also have the feeling that with God there are never any coincidences, and He never makes any mistakes either. My second part of this evening will be, my second part of my testimony will be this evening. It was a time in my life where I owed a lot of money to the bank. My business wasn't going well. And it was a time when the bank told me, you have a couple of weeks, you either pay all the money that you owe us, or else we take everything from you, and we also take your house, so you'll be living on the street. I thought things were bad at that time, but things got on as it was. A few weeks later, I was in hospital, I lost my health, I lost 90% of my vision, I was near the brink, and I went home with all of these problems. No work, I don't know where I'm going to live, I don't know how I'm going to get through things, I don't know if I'm going to survive, and I have literally 40 euros in my pocket. So what I'm going to do is, I'll start off this morning with God's plans, and there are no coincidences with God, and He never makes any mistakes.
Amen.
Amen.
I have to say the journey has been long, and in the last year I've seen God's strength and God's workings on it. About a year ago, I spent about 2.5 years with a Sierra Leonean lady who had a good relationship, and then the time came where we had to leave each other and depart. So I decided, okay, where am I going to go? So there was a church close by to my house in Slema, and I thought, okay, this is this church Potter's house. I thought, let me go and see what it's all about. I wasn't sure. So I attended the first couple of Sundays. I still wasn't very, very sure about this church. I thought, before I decide and I commit to anything, that I'm going to, have a look at this church. I want a good church, and I want a special church, and I want a church where I can remain. So while I was there, after a couple of weeks, everyone was talking about this Zwolle conference, and how great it is and whatever. But yet I had my doubts. I was still very skeptical about it. Eventually, I thought to myself, let me go. I thought to myself, this is a country, it's full of whites, they have normal food. Maybe God will send me a white girlfriend with blue eyes, and I thought, okay, this is where I'm going. So that was the reason why I decided to go to the conference initially in Zwolle. Things change, and God works in very mysterious ways. Because I remember I got there and I met our brother Sammy, and there was Tony there, and we were talking, and he said he's from Sierra Leone, and I thought, okay, this is just a coincidence. But then later on in the evening, he started cooking. He's a great cook, and all this African food starts coming out, and we're eating, and I'm thinking to myself, it's a bit strange. I left my old relationship in Cedar, I moved home, I went to this church, I wanted to come to Holland for totally different reasons, but I let things go. So I had a nice fellowship together, we went on. The next day I met with Pastor James, and we got talking, and we're talking, and where are you from? I'm from Malta, and he told me, I asked him, where are you from Sierra Leone, and I thought, wow, what's happening here? I wanted to leave all of that behind, but here I am. Anyhow, the conference was great, we had great fellowship, and I remember the day before we were leaving, the last day of the conference, there was my pastor coming up to me, and he told me, so next year you're coming to Africa with me. I thought, okay, no problem, we'll go to Africa. And then I thought, but where are you going to take me? He told me, I want to take you to Sierra Leone. So I thought, wow, God here is trying to tell me something. Here I am, I traveled 3,000 miles from Malta, I changed my church, I went to the church. For one reason, it was close to my house, so I don't have to drive very far. And I thought, what's happening? And I remember going back on the plane, and I'm talking to God, I'm praying on the plane, and I'm thinking, listen, God, what's happening? There's something very unusual. But I left it as it is. I thought, this is a coincidence, and sometimes things happen like this in life, and things continue going. So back in January, I was organizing a conference together with Pastor James and my pastor, and we came here and everything, and we met Tony and the other people, and as soon as I walked in here, I noticed, it was an African church full of Sierra Leoneans, and I thought to myself, wow. I thought, maybe sometimes there aren't so many coincidences like this in life. So we had a great time. I left, I went down to Zwali again, spent a couple of nights with the Dutch guy, and I met up with Pastor James again. And he told me, listen, why don't you come and share a room with one of my brothers? So I went, and obviously it was again Samuel, and so my whole second conference was around Sierra Leonean people. And when I got home and I thought, wow, first time coincidence, second time coincidence, I thought, what is happening here? So anyhow, I go back to Malta again, and I'm talking with my pastor, Pastor Buckles. One morning we're having breakfast, and we're talking, and he told me, what is your aim? What is your role in life? And I told him, I did have in my heart before that I always wanted to open up a school in Africa and help the children and feed them, give them good Christian education. And so we got talking. He told me, there aren't many people like you who want to become a pastor and these things. He said, but I have a friend who's done something similar. He said, and it works. And at that moment, a lot of things started making sense. A lot of things came straight into my mind. Things started pouring down. And I started to see God's word and God's will in his life. I'm now at the stage where I'm being discipled and I would like to become a pastor. I've come again for the third time for the Holland in Zwolle. Here I am. I'm most is African, a lot from Sierra Leone. I've spent more time with my pastor here in Sierra Leone. And I feel now, I believe that God has something for me in Sierra Leone. I'm not sure if it's pastoring, I'm not sure if it's a school. But I look back just in 1 year, and so many things happening, so many things in Sierra Leone. I also got to know a very good brother, Hassan, throughout the stage. He again is from Sierra Leone, so I think God is working for me, and I have to believe and accept now, just to follow and submit to him, that whatever happens, I believe God has a working for me. This evening I will be giving my testimony on one of the hardest times in life, and how God miraculously can restore strength, can restore finances, and can restore life back to normal. Amen. Thank you for listening. Amen. God always has a plan for us. Amen. No matter what it is, if we always submit and surrender ourselves, we always keep to his word and obey him, eventually it will get us through. In the last 3 years, I've gone through my first church, my second church. I was faithful, and I always thought, what has Sierra Leone got to do to me? But now, since I've gone to the Potter's house, I know today exactly where I am. I'm in God's word. Amen. There was many times where I've suffered hardship and heartache, but I've gone through it, especially the last few months. I've gone through it, and today I'm here. And it's by no coincidence that I'm giving my testimony here to the Potter's house. Thank you. Amen. So the other part is, I think this must have been one of my hardest times. I'm going back to about September 2012. I used to have my own business before, a construction company. And when I became a Christian, things just got worse and worse. And come 2012, I remember I got a telephone call from my bank manager and telling me, I'm sorry, we've given you a few years' chance to pay your money back and the money that you owe us. And now it's time, for us to take you to court, and you're going to lose all your properties, you lose your savings, you lose your home, you're going to lose everything. He was a good friend. He gave me some advance timing, and I was shocked. Imagine, you've worked all your life, and in a few months' time, you're going to be out of a home. I didn't have much work then because I had a criminal record, so even finding work was very, very hard. And at this moment in time, I thought, what's happening, God? Why? I lose everything that I've had. I lose my home. What am I going to do? How am I going to support myself? Where am I going to work? What's going to happen to me? Just as I thought that things couldn't get worse, I remember by the grace of God, I found a job this time. I was working in a kitchen. I didn't like this job. I was washing plates and peeling potatoes, but I thought, God's given me this job, this is my way out. I have to save for a deposit, start renting a flat, and God will show me the way. I always said to myself, you know best, God. So I spent a few weeks working, and I think this was really hard. I think some people know, once you work for yourself, and then you have to work for somebody else, especially cleaning the floors and cleaning the toilets every day. For me, this was really, really hard, but I stuck to it, and I thought, okay, God, this is up to you. I'm in your hands, you know what's best for me. And at this time, you know, when people go through these hard things, you are saying, God, why? You know, God, why? We don't really understand these things, but we have to be committed and we have to go forward. And I always use this verb in Proverbs 3:5, which says, you know, trust in the Lord and lean not on your own understanding. Many times in God's life and in God's ways, we don't understand what's happening to us, but we just have to continue going, you know, no matter what. Day by day, step by step. My pastor Mota says, we take 2 steps forward and 1 back. 2 steps forward, 1 back, but eventually we get there. So anyway, I'm working, and I remember one Saturday morning, I had a day off and I was looking forward to it. And I woke up with a big pain in my back Saturday morning, and it was very unusual. And I thought to myself, you know, what is happening? So I thought, it's nothing. You know, after a few minutes I went to the toilet. I remember I was sick, and I thought, there's something very, very, very wrong with me at this time. And I just brushed it off. I lay down on the sofa, watched some TV, and I thought, okay, I'm getting better. But after an hour, the pain just got worse, and it was bad and bad. It was so bad that I couldn't even breathe at this time. So immediately I called my pastor at that time, Pastor Joe from the Baptist Church. I said, Pastor Joe, please come for me because I'm feeling really bad. Now I can't walk, I'm in great pain. And so I went. He took me to the hospital. I was there in the waiting room. They saw I was in so much pain that straight away they took me into emergency. And the pain just continued getting worse and worse and worse. And after a few hours, they were giving me morphine and many painkillers and many injections, and nothing seemed to do worse. And I reached the stage that even when I take the slightest breath, I was in pain. I was in pain. What happened next was I was left there in hospital overnight. And the next day I thought, okay, you know, it's bad, you know, I'm going to lose my house and I'm in a bad situation, but I thought things are going to get better. But exactly the opposite happened. What happened is, by the next day, the pain was so great. What happened is, the next day, while the pain was so great, my sugar levels started to increase, and my insulin levels rose to about 31, 32. So besides having this great pain, I also had very high sugar levels. So every day they'd come, they'd check my sugar levels. They just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I remember after about 7 days, I lost about 14 kilos. I was down to about 74 kilos. Today I'm nearly 90. So at this stage, because of the sugar levels, I became, I was like a walking broomstick. I was very, very weak. I was in a lot of pain, and many people from my church, I was so bad, many people from my church thought, you know, they were praying that maybe that I'll make it, because my situation was really, really bad at this time. So throughout this time I'm in pain, I've lost a lot of weight, and what happens is, because of my insulin levels, they were so high, I started to lose my eyesight. I think by about the 14th day in the hospital, 80% of my eyesight was gone. Now this was really scary. I mean, you can lose your job, you can have no money, you can have no health, but you know, when God, you know, tests you, or the devil tries you and you lose your eyesight, this gets hard. So by the 15th or the 16th day, there I was. I could hardly see anything. They got me a big print Bible, but I couldn't even read it. And I believe once you get to that stage in life, things get scary. I was at a stage where I couldn't even pray. I just wake up in the morning and think, you know, God, what's happening? What's happening? Why is all this happening? It's very hard to get answers in this time. And so I just kept on, I just kept on going, day by day, thinking, you know, God help me, because I'm not sure how I'm going to get out of this. Whichever angle I look from things at that side, it was all bleak. You know, my hope had finished, and I started thinking, okay, God, what's going to happen? I'm going to be going out from here from hospital. I'm going to a home which is soon going to be taken away from me. I don't have any strength. I can't see. I was given a pile of medicines and medication to take. And it got serious. I don't know if anyone's been in these situations before. You know, Not having money, I presume everyone goes through this, but not having your health, and maybe losing your home, plus all this, maybe even losing your eyesight, it's bad. So I remember I was discharged, and I remember speaking to some of the doctors, some of the professors, and I was telling them, listen, when is my eyesight coming back? When are things going to come back to normal? And the doctors told me, maybe later on, but the probabilities is it won't come back. You'll never get your health back. So I remember after about 21 days, my pastor taking me home, and I remember trying to go up the stairs to my home and thinking, God help me, because what would someone do in this situation? I knew I couldn't work. I knew I didn't have the strength to work. I had just about 40 euros at this time in my pocket, so it wasn't going to last for long anyway. And it all seemed, I would say I lost all hope altogether. The only thing that kept me going was a bit of my faith. So after a few days at home, I get a call from the real estate agent. He calls me up one of the days and he says, Ian, your place is still available for sale? And I say yes. He said, okay. He said, I have an offer for you on the house. So we negotiated, we agreed on a price, and the next day he came back to me and told me, listen Ian, I have someone who wants to buy one of your properties. And I thought to God, amen, amen. So I remember ringing up my friend, because my head was such a bad condition, I gave him a power of attorney, and I told him, Joe, go, sign the deal, get me back the papers signed so I can go back to the bank. So a few days later, I go back down to the bank, because the bank has called me. I was given a lift. I go in to speak to my bank manager, and my bank manager tells me, I have some bad news for you now, and we've given you enough chance. The bank is going to start the court proceedings. It's better maybe you file for bankruptcy, or go and speak to your lawyer, because you're going to lose everything. And at this precise moment, I go into my pocket, I take out the envelope, and I tell him, listen, I have some good news for you, because I've managed to sell a property. And I remember his face, him looking at me and telling me like, wow, this has saved you. So I gave it to him, and he told me, so what do you want? I told him, I need 6 to 8 months more chance, so maybe I can sell some other properties. So this was the first good news, just at the right moment and just at the right time when I went to speak to the bank manager, I had this document, the sale of this property, and this gave me 6 to 8 months grace. So the bank decided I could keep my house for the moment, the sale will go through, and we'll see how things are in the next 8 months. The other problems that I faced was my health. My health was really bad. I was on, 5 or 6 different medications. I still couldn't walk properly. I remember going back to church, my pastor used to pick me up just 6 minutes away to walk. It's like from here to the train station. I couldn't walk that far. So I was going back to church, and everyone was praying for me. And as the weeks got by, I started to get a bit stronger. I started to walk around with my dogs, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. And my eyesight started to get better. I think three or 4 weeks later, by about Christmas time, my eyesight was nearly recovered. People were praying for me, and I thanked God, and I told them, God, thank you. Now I have my eyesight. So 2 of my problems were solved at that time. So what I started to do in January, one time I decided that, God, I'm going to start jogging. I've never jogged in my life, but I thought, maybe I should get healthy, and maybe I should start jogging. So initially I started jogging for about 2 weeks. But then as the weeks went by, my jogging increased. It went to 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles. And after 2 months I was quite surprised. After 2 months I was running 7, 8 miles. And for me this was unbelievable. I looked back, even people in church like me, one minute you were dying, people thought I wasn't going to make it. And the next minute I'm running 6, 8 miles. But it got better. I went on to run 10, 12, 15, even 18 miles later on. And so I started going to the gym, so my strength started getting better, and God was good. Amen. God was good. From a broken person who couldn't walk, He was turning me into an athlete. But then I thought, I want to go one step further, God, and help me. And I thought, we have a channel to swim between Malta and Gozo, and there and back is 11 kilometers. And I thought, God, you've given me the strength so far to where I am. I thought, give me the strength so I can train, and I can swim to Gozo and back. And approximately it would take around 3.5 hours. So that summer I'm in the gym. I'm in the gym every day, 5-6 hours a day. I'm swimming constantly, I'm running. And during my training, I've started swimming 5, 6, 7. Then I remember one time I swam 14 kilometers. And I'm telling myself, wow, God, this is good. Eventually what happened is, I went on and I continued swimming. And then I decided I'm going to swim 28 kilometers. When I reached the peak of my training, I decided to swim 28 kilometers. I started swimming that day, and it was very, very, very rough sea. So I went out and I swam 21 kilometers, but it took me a total of 7 hours and 15 minutes continuous swimming. People were stopping and people were throwing me food. So now what I do is I look back. I was a broken man before. I couldn't see, and God restored my strength. He gave me the strength to swim 21 kilometers. Now, not many people can do it. It's all because of God's glory, not because I am someone special. So I look back and I've learned in things in life. God sometimes gives us trials. God sometimes puts us through very, very, very hard ways and very hard things. With myself, I can look back and I can think, why did this happen to me? But even just now, just talking, I can say, God put me in this position, so today I could give a testimony of how good God is and how strong He is. From going nearly bankrupt today to nearly paying off all of my debts. From being very broken and being hardly able to walk to becoming an athlete. God works in many different ways, and if somebody around here is going through a very hard time, what I suggest is just continue praying. Just continue praying. There's a Romans 8:28 tells us everything happens for the better or for the good. This is one of my favorite verses, because no matter what we go in life, and no matter how hard things is, God can always change them around. God can change them around for the better. For example, now I can give a testimony to you. Now people know, that I wasn't always the Ian how I was before. There was many times I was very skinny, I was very sick, I couldn't walk, I had absolutely no money, not even money to pay for my petrol or to catch a bus. But today God is helping me. Amen. And through that help, I can help people in other ways, by small things, but I can help them. Another verse that I like is, God tells us in Jeremiah 28:11 is, God will always give you a better future. He has plans for us to prosper and plans to give us a better life. Looking back today, I think, wow, it's been a very, very, very hard journey. But eventually, God will show you the light, and God will give you a way, no matter how hard it is. A lot of people in Africa might think, it's only in Africa that people suffer. But there's many people in Europe who suffer as well. People suffer, they go without food. People suffer, they go without jobs. It's the same job, it's the same God, and God will help everyone. Amen. God will help the Africans, God will help the Europeans, and God will use our trials, turn them around, and give a good testimony to others. So that way people can be encouraged.